Not only did your comment drive the news cycle, Senator, it also led to a vote in the House of Representatives to codify the Obergefell decision. Actually, go a little further.
Has a podcast ever driven a vote the next week in the U.S. House of Representatives? I'm not aware of that threshold ever being crossed.
So the House Dems bring this up, and it was obviously a ridiculous vote. There was absolutely no risk of the Supreme Court overruling Obergefell. The court majority in Dobbs said as much. Clarence Thomas, in his concurrence, suggested perhaps we should revisit that and some other cases. He couldn't get a single other justice, including any of the conservatives, to sign on to that. So there's really no, as a political matter, there's no risk of this whatsoever. And then the Democrats bring this bill out of their sheer shock and anger that you haven't changed your view on marriage from the view that's been held for all of human history, and your view of the Constitution, even more importantly, the way the Constitution should be interpreted and understood. And the vote comes up in the House, and 47 House Republicans vote to enshrine a new definition of marriage.
Yeah. So let's take those one at a time. Let's start with what actually I said on Cloakroom. So the 18-second snippet that they seized upon is where I said that Obergefell was clearly wrong. It was wrongly decided, which is exactly what I said the day it came down. It's what I believed then and every day since then. And it's what virtually every conservative in the planet believed then and still believes now, even if there's some Republicans scared to say it now. In Obergefell, the Supreme Court struck down the marriage laws of states across the country, invented a brand new right. The proper way, I believe, under the Constitution to decide the question of marriage and whether marriage should extend to same-sex couples is through the democratic process. And actually, the democratic process was moving in that direction. The advocates of gay marriage were winning in multiple states. They were persuading the voters, and the democratic process was operating. Those who disagreed were making their case, and there was a full-fledged democratic debate until the Supreme Court said, nope, sorry, silly people, there's only one right answer. You must adopt what we decree. What they left out is you and I had, actually it was Liz Wheeler and I, had an extended discussion where she asked me, the entire cloakroom focused on Clarence Thomas's concurrence in the Dobbs decision, where he called into question the substantive due process jurisprudence, and he mentioned a number of other cases dealing with contraception, dealing with sodomy, and dealing with gay marriage. And he suggested that those opinions should be revisited. And what I articulated at great length in the full Cloakroom podcast is that the Supreme Court said repeatedly, explicitly, unambiguously, no. We are not revisiting these precedents. Nothing in this decision calls them into question. We're not going to do it. At one point, the majority opinion says, we don't know how we can say this any clearer. No, no, no. As you noted, Justice Thomas, yes, he raised the issue. He was not joined by a single justice. So 8 justices declined to join that opinion. I said that at great length. All of the lefty Twitter activists, all of the corrupt corporate media ignored that entire discussion. We actually put out the entire 6-minute segment. We put it out on social media to say, look, if you want to know what the discussion was, here's a radical and crazy idea. Maybe you could actually listen to what it was I said.